السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد. This is our 15th episode بإذن الله عز وجل of the library tour بإذن الله تعالى. And today we will go through these two books. So in the last episode we spoke about these three books. These three, which are some of the most important books of Aqīdah. And inshallah Azza wa Jal, today we will speak about these two books, and of course this one we'll not speak about because it's not actually a musnad book, but we will speak about these two books bi'idhnillah Azza wa Jal. This is إثبات الحد لله, and this is الرد على المبتدعة. طيب. Now these books are not as known as other books that we've spoken about, like these ones, as an example. However, these two books definitely are very important and very, let's say there's a lot to say about them. We're first going to speak about الرد على المبتدعة, and then we'll speak about إثبات الحد inshallah, because this one is, and we're not going to speak about it for a long time, but this book, there's a lot to say about it bi'idhnillah azza wa jalla, and this is why I already know that this episode will not be able to take more than just these two books, because it will speak very long about this one bi'idhnillah azza wa jalla. So to start off with the Ar-Radd ala al-Mubtadi'ah, this book, as you can see, is by Ibn al-Bannā al-Hanbali, who is a Hanbali scholar he died in the year 471. طيب. Now, about the prints of this book, there is honestly no prints other than تحقيق of Sheikh Adil, of course, who is the best one. Of course, there is a difference between some of the prints. There's a print of the old Dar al-Lu'lu' and the new Dar al-Lu'lu', and so. However, generally speaking, any تحقيق of Sheikh Adil that you will get, inshallah Azza wa Jal, will be good. طيب. And I have to be honest, I read this book like over a year ago, so I should have probably prepared for this, but we're just going to read through the table of contents, and then inshallah Azza wa Jal we will see. So first of course first we have the tahqiq. طيب. Of course I usually don't mention that much about the tahqiq of the book, right, in the last episodes and so on, but here first we have the tahqiq of the Sheikh. He spoke about the author and so on. He gave the muqaddimah to the tahqiq and so. And what Sheikh Adil does a lot of times is he actually speaks about the topic of the book. So he will give you an introduction about the topic, which we will see when we speak about this book, inshallah azza wa jal. But basically he will often actually summarize to you the topic of the book, or give an introduction about it, or these types of things, basically things that you need to know before you actually get into the book, right? And this is why I mentioned this. Now here you can go through the table of contents of the book. First he mentions about the فضل أهل الحديث, why and he mentions good things about أهل الحديث. I don't really know how to translate al-fadl. My throat is really astaghfirullah. طيب. I'm sorry about that. So now, and then he mentions the athar about the sunnah, and about warning from bid'ah and warning from its people, and the sifa of the bid'ah, the attributes of the bid'ah. Then why you shouldn't debate or discuss in the issues and so on. We've spoken about all of these before. We've spoken about them when we spoke about al-Bannā and so on. طيب. He goes about speaking about the divine decree, the sayings of the Mu'tazila. He responds to a lot of their doubts. He mentions a lot of ahadith, sayings of the Mu'tazila in the Quran, which we also spoke about when we spoke about the book of Imam Bukhari and so on. About the speech of Allah, the shafa'ah, the intercession of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of judgment, about iman and responding to the murji'ah, about the issues of the last day, طيب, and so on. And this is a really underrated book, if you could say it in that way. I haven't seen anyone explain it honestly, and this is what's sad about it. I believe this book deserves more attention, if you could say it in that way, right? It deserves more people to read it, more people to comment on it. I've read it, as I said, over a year ago, but I definitely recommend everyone to get this book and to read it, if you're, of course, at a specific degree of knowledge, but yeah, so this is a very nice book. And as you can see, he also mentions the sayings of other scholars like Ibn Qutayba and so on, and we've previously spoken about him when we spoke with the books of tafsir and so, right? And so basically he mentions the sayings of other scholars, and then he responds to some of the doubts that the Jahmiyyah brought. Of course, the Shaykh, as always, does a great job in his commentary, responding to the doubts and so on. Here he mentions that, of course, when we speak about the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal, we stop at where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba and so on stopped, and we don't go and ask why or how or these stuff here. And here he mentioned a nice thing, which is that he said the dead people are of 4 types. So the first type are those who we are 100% sure we say that they are in paradise, like the prophets and the messengers and so on, and also the ones who the prophets or the messengers, they say that they're in Jannah, like he mentioned, like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like he said that the 10 people that are promised paradise, that they're in Jannah, and there are a lot of other people that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that they will be in or that they are in paradise, and so on. Then the second type are the ones who we say that they are without a shadow of a doubt in the fire forever, and they will not be able to get out of it. And those are the ones who they are the kuffar and the mushrikeen. And this is very important, because a lot of people nowadays, they come to you and tell you, we can't actually say that someone who dies on kufr will be in the fire. Rather, you don't know what was in his heart. He might have repented like 2 seconds before he died, right? We hear this a lot. So basically he shows here that that this is not the correct thing to say. Then he said the third type are those Muslims who we see that they are good, we see that they are pious and righteous and God-fearing, and so those we don't know, right? If they actually were how they appear to us, then inshallah azza wa jal they will be in paradise, but they could be from the munafiqeen or so, wal-iyadhu billah, and so on. And he said the fourth and last type is the fasiq from the Muslims, and here he basically, they are like the third type, they are under the mashia of Allah Azza wa Jal. طيب. وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. Allah does not do injustice. But basically, the one who dies on major sins without repenting from them, Allah could punish him in the fire, and Allah could forgive him. And we mentioned before the sayings in that when we spoke when we spoke about those who when we spoke in the last episode, I think, about the if the minor shirk falls under shirk, yani if Allah can, if Allah will forgive the one who does minor shirk or not. So we spoke about that in the last episode of this series. Yani. Now, of course, this is إثبات الحد لله عز وجل وبأنه قاعد وجالس على عرشه. This book is by Abu Muhammad Mahmud ibn Abi al-Qasim ad-Dashtī. He died in the year 665. This book is definitely one of the most beautiful things you will ever read. Wallahi al-Azim, this book is gold. This book is worth more than gold. Wallahi al-Azim. This book is literally one of the most beautiful things you could ever read. If you want to speak about this book, we will take really long. I have honestly been thinking for a while to basically make an episode about this topic, or about the topic of this book. But again, I read this book literally the last time I read it was before I read this one. So you can imagine that I'm not the most the one who's the most up to date on this. So there's probably a lot of things that I will miss for this. And also there's another thing I want to say about this print is that you'll find there's nothing actually in it. I didn't write anything, I didn't mark anything or so, which is because I actually listened to the Sharh of Sheikh Muhammad bin Shamsuddin, and I listened to the book, and after that, like a few months or maybe even a year after reading it online and listening to the Sharh, I then actually bought it, because at the time I could not buy it. طيب. So this will make me basically bringing some stuff from the book a little bit more difficult, because as we saw in the last ones, I would basically bring quotes that I have marked when I read it or so. So this will make this a little more difficult, and this is why I've decided that we will read this book inshallah Azza wa Jal on the Telegram channel, on the Arabic Durus Telegram. We will listen to the Sharh of Sheikh Muhammad ibn Shamsuddin inshallah Azza wa Jal after we're done with Kitab al-Laka'i. But before that, I want to mention there is one thing that we've read before on the channel, which is this 39 footnote of the Sheikh about the takfir of the Ash'ari. طيب. This is a 39. I'm not even joking. This is one footnote. I'm trying to find the end. I'm probably gonna have to cut this out. So this, this is one footnote about the takfir of the Ash'ari, and mentioning the sayings of the scholars in the takfir of the Ash'ari and so. And this is really nice. We've read this, as I said, we've read this on my Telegram channel alone, without the book itself. We've just read the footnote. And you guys remember in the series of exposing the Ash'ari, the last episode, which was the last episode I uploaded, which was the 20th one, we read a small letter by Sheikh Muhammad bin Shamsuddin about the takfir of the Ash'ari. However, I said in that one that I want to read this one next, and I haven't done it yet. I really want to. So I'm probably after we're going to read this book, or we're going to listen to this, the explanation of this book, we're probably going to read that. We're probably going to translate this and just read it on the channel bi'idhnillahi azza wa jal. Now, before that, I actually want to speak about the topic. So, I've on our Arabic channel, I have uploaded the basic introduction of the Sharh of Sheikh Muhammad bin Shamsuddin. I have uploaded that one alone, which was like 20 minutes or so, which was basically from the Sheikh introducing this book and the topic of this book and so on, right? So this book is about establishing the So first we're going to translate the title. So establishing or affirming the boundary for Allah Azza wa Jal, and that He is sitting on His throne. So this is basically the idea of the book, that He brings the ahadith and the athar, and He proves that Allah Azza wa Jal has a boundary, and we will explain what that actually means in a second bi-idhnillah. But basically that Allah has a boundary, and that He is sitting on the throne. طيب. Now, of course, before we speak about that, ad-Dashtī was actually a Kurdish Hanbali scholar, and he as well as, so as we said, we include this in the musnad category because he narrates athar with the isnad in this book. طيب. And so this is why this book is a very important source, and it preserves for us, it shows us what the Salaf said about this topic, and to a large extent the athar that he got were from the books that we have previously spoken about. طيب. Now, so now, what is the actual topic of this book? So as we said, it is about the limit or the boundary for Allah Azza wa Jal. That basically means, in short, basically it has three meanings, or the scholars use the word had in three meanings. The first meaning, that it is the end of something. Let's say that we have a piece of land, طيب, and you are my neighbor, طيب, and this would be my land and this would be yours. So this would basically be the boundary between our lands, meaning that this is mine and this is yours. So that is basically the first way that the scholars use this word. And the second one is basically that it separates between two things, which is close to the first meaning. And the third one is basically to define something. طيب. And to understand what that means, and so you're gonna have to read the introduction of the tahqiq of the Sheikh. طيب. But basically as well, I want to mention that this is one of those books where the Sheikh, he really goes really deep into the introduction of the tahqiq, which is really nice. طيب. So here basically you'll see has all of this is the introduction of the tahqiq, and then the book itself is only like 100 pages. Only like 200 pages, and after that he has like a 40-page response to the one who has denied the boundary for Allah, from the speech of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, from his book Bayanu Talbis al-Jahmiyyah. طيب. Now, of course, the author, he mentions from great scholars that they affirmed this word, from Ibn al-Mubarak and Ahmed and Ishaq and Harb al-Kirmani, and so on. It basically shows that they affirmed this word, طيب, responding to those who did not affirm it, or proving that it is to be affirmed. Of course, when we say affirm the word, or the reason why I said that is because some people, they affirm the meaning, but they say that we don't affirm the word. No, we need to affirm the word, which of course the word has a meaning, and the meaning basically is that Allah is above the throne, and He is only above the throne. طيب, He isn't under that. So basically there is a place where Allah is, and there is a place where Allah is not, if you understand what I mean. Some people, they try to use the word physical or so, which I don't like to use, because some people understand different things with that word. However, it basically means that Allah is in that place and that He is not in this place. طيب. This is basically what it means. And of course, it is no Muslim denies the meaning of this, because Allah Azza wa Jal said, Ar-Rahmān ala al-Arsh istawa, and Allah said, Sabbih isma rabbika al-A'la. طيب. So Allah is the most high, and Allah is above the throne. So if Allah is above the throne, that means that He is not under it. طيب. And also because He is the most high, then there of course cannot be anything above Him. So this is basically what it means. And the reasons why the Salaf were so were the words that they said for the one who denied this, denied affirming this, is because that basically means that you say Allah is everywhere, which is the saying of the Jahmiyya. طيب. So they basically said that Allah is everywhere, and that He's even in dirty places or so. So this is why affirming this is so important, because it shows that you know that Allah is above, and He is not everywhere, if that makes sense. طيب. Of course, this book doesn't just respond to that, or respond to those who denied al-had and so, but it also, number one, especially the sharh or first of all, the footnotes of Sheikh Adil, as well the sharh of Sheikh Muhammad bin Shamsuddin, they also go into what? They go into, number one, using terms to describe the sifat of Allah that are not directly found in the Quran and the Sunnah. This is not correct, because some people nowadays, they come and say what, we can't affirm this word. Why? Because this word is not in the Quran, and they took this for a big chunk because of how much they have read for the Ash'ari, like Ibn Hajar and the Nawawi and so they got affected by their speech, and they basically went and took that from them, which of course the Ash'ari, they don't affirm anything. طيب. To aslan affirm that Allah is above or so. طيب. Of course, some people now are gonna come and say, wow, he's saying the Ash'ari don't affirm anything. He doesn't actually know what the Ash'ari believer. So of course, I don't literally mean that they don't affirm anything, but even that which they affirm, they don't affirm it on the way of the Muslims. طيب. And he also responds to the Mufawwidah and he responds as well to, as we said, those who have denied the had. And there was also one page, I think it was like 100 and something, but where ad-Dashtī basically, no, it's not here, where ad-Dashtī, he mentioned some of the sifat that a lot of the contemporary scholars deny, like al-jiha and al-makan and al-shakhs and so on, and يعني as well al-shay. طيب. And so he and the Sheikh, he responded to that in the footnotes as well, and Sheikh Muhammad, he responded to that as well in the commentary, in the recorded commentary. Now, of course, here we see the Sheikh Adil, he first goes into proving or affirming the word al-had, and affirming, of course, the meaning of it. طيب. He speaks about the meaning, and then, speaks about that. Then he speaks about affirming that Allah sits on the throne, and then he speaks about affirming the place for Allah Azza wa Jal. Also speaks about, and he mentions the sayings of the Sahaba and the Tabi'een about al-istiwa and al-julus and so. Then he goes into the book, and then he mentions this mulhaq of the response to those who have denied al-had. طيب. So I hope this was interesting. I might comment on this book on English. I've honestly been thinking of translating, but it's very difficult to translate this book because of all of the footnotes. You would need to translate all of that, which is not an easy task. It would be nice, but there's definitely things to prioritize over that, which is why I haven't really done that yet. But this is a very important book. I recommend everyone who knows Arabic to go and listen to the sharh of Sheikh Muhammad. And by the side, you can also read the tahqiq or the introduction of the Sheikh into this book. Yeah. So that was it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed my quick translation there. Sorry, today I'm pretty off. I'm very tired. There's a lot of things going on with me. So don't forget me from your dua bi-idhnillah azza wa jal. You might have felt that I'm a bit off or so. But inshallah azza wa jal, we will inshallah ta'ala not stop with this tour bi-idhnillah. فإنشاءالله عز وجل, tomorrow we will speak about ذم الكلام, which is a gem, and we'll also speak about الجامع في الإيمان and الجامع في العقائد and النقد الدارمي and الرد على الجهمية of الدارمي. These two books are also like gold. And then we'll speak about كتاب البدع of Ibn al-Waddah. Then we still have some minor small books in from the books of Athar. We have Al-Qadr of Al-Firyabi, Al-Tanbih wal-Radd, and we have Al-Fitan of Nu'aym bin Hammad, and these two as well. So yeah, we still have some to go before we actually get into the other Aqīdah books that are not with the isnad. Wallah musta'an. Inshallah ta'ala, we will end it here for today. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.